three-fingered has 3 vertebrae of a tail, and a two-fingered has no tail. So the 3 missing from up here and the 4 missing from down here are all between the hips and shoulders of the two-fingered sloth. So the 3-fingered will turn his head 270 around like this, like an owl, and the 3-fingered will turn his whole body, hips, shoulders, turn his whole body like a slinky, like that. So, buddy, you're a good boy. You really are. So, and I am this lost person, and you guys are welcome to give him his breakfast. When you're feeding him, you're welcome to stand approximately this close to the sloth to take selfies, or the lady, yes, just a minute ago said for the first time I've ever heard it, take a slothy. I hadn't even thought of that before. Selfie versus slothy, but cute thing you say. So anyway, and I think he's jonesing for a hard-boiled egg this morning, so we're gonna give him one. And that's where he gets his protein from. Quicker than you think, right?
Yes. Like I've seen, they didn't really move at all.
We have sloth tracking bracelets here that you can get that come from a company called Follow, or maybe Fallow, I don't know how you pronounce it, but you can live track wild sloth in the rainforest, and you'll see that sometimes they move as much as a mile in a day, and sometimes they don't move 100 feet in a week, so it's pretty weird.
Can I pet him?
Yeah, you can pick him up if you want.
Oh, are you scared? I'm so sorry.
Come on, she wants
They
to
like
give you some
travels.
attention. I don't know, like I showered to get all the bug spray and stuff off of me. So,
He's bored.
oh. Oh, you're just like my dogs. Mm-hmm. That's what my dog does when he wants attention. Oh, yeah, he just left. He's a little anxious guy.
You were so good, buddy.
So I guess this is Flash, so we can
Feed
feed
him.
Yeah, you can feed him. Somebody set me up on the hard-boiled eggs here. These things don't peel where they move.
Can we touch him?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I want to ignore you.
Come on. Stop.
Oh, he's so cute. Hi. No scratches, just pets, right?
Yeah, no scratches. He really likes these egg pieces. So Flash is a sloth, obviously. Flash is a two-fingered sloth. Alive in the world today, there are two-fingered sloths and three-fingered sloths. We talked about the spine differences between them. They all have 3 fingers or 3 toes on the back feet. Two-fingered have 2 on the front, three-fingered have 3 on the front. So the difference is the front feet, not the back feet, so they're starting to call them two-fingered, three-fingered instead of two-toed, three-toed. The sloths are slow. Sloths are famously slow. The sloths are slow in ways that you don't think about a sloth being slow. So they're slow not only in their movement, they're slow in their digestion, metabolism, metabolic processes. They're slow in every way. I think one of the cool things about him is the way his ears go.
Yes.
Go in and out. This guy's name is Bakugan because he's like a Bakugan that they close up like that into a total ball, and then when they open up, they just come out like Bakugan does. So it's pretty cool.
Oh, that's crazy.
But and since I'm a teenager of the '80s, when I get another one, it'll be named Shaka Khan. So we'll have Bakugan and Shaka Khan, and we'll give him a little walkout music. Shaka Khan. Anyway, I'm not much of a singer. Doesn't stop me, but I'm not much of a singer. So sloths are famously slow, but sloths are slow in ways you don't think about a sloth being slow. Hey, buddy, wake up. Hey, Flash.
Is he nervous or is he just tired?
No, he's just waiting for his breakfast. Just give him a piece of that egg. He has to smell it, not see it.
Yeah, they don't have very good.
They have horrible vision. The structure of their eyes is called rod monochromacy. So they have all rod cells, no cone cells. Chromatic, no color vision. So their eyes are designed to detect motion, not really to see things exactly. So anything that's moving towards a sloth is bad. So when the sloth sees motion, it's end of the branch, end of the branch, end of the branch. You know, get out there and hide. And so the sloth sloths are slow in so many ways. It begins with they eat horrible quality of food. So in the wild, they're eating about 90% leaf material and not so much other stuff. They just don't have access to much other stuff. So in captivity, they eat about 75% leaf material, and the rest of it, they eat 2 hard-boiled eggs in a week and 3 servings of fruit in a week, and they eat some monkey biscuits, a couple things like that. You might want a monkey biscuit, I don't know. These things, these little things right here, they're good for his teeth. You give him a little bit of some trace minerals, and these things taste exactly like life cereal.
Really?
Yeah, I've eaten them before. They taste exactly like life cereal. Well, I've eaten everything all the animals eat.
You gotta try it and make sure it's okay.
Yeah. Well, I don't eat the bugs.
I mean, it is for cooking.
I made sure I didn't have like an emotion or anything.
No, he's not worried about that. He's just being lazy. Baku gets all kinds of bugs, so we get all these different kinds of insects from Josh's frogs. So like these ones are mealworms, and these ones are black soldier fly larvae, and there's some housefly pupa in there, and he gets superworms and hornworms, and we sprinkle them out in the dirt box that's in there. And then the insects dig down into the dirt, and then Baku loves to dig after the insects down in the dirt. So that's his foraging behavior. He has a wonderful time at it. So the sloth, because its diet is so poor, its energy budget is really, really low. Startling, right?
He likes me.
So because his food source is so poor, his energy budget is really, really low. Yeah. It's skin, not a shell actually. But a skin that gets shot, they say it gets stopped at 22. Yeah. Obviously not a 226, but a 22.
Yeah.
So, no, I can't say that, can I? Well, remember not to say that. I meant 226-350-8794.
It's on YouTube right now. You're okay.
Oh, okay, so I'm safe. Yesterday I got banned for saying something. Or actually, yes, saying something. But anyway, the sloth, his energy budget is low because of his diet. So his energy budget is so low that a sloth cannot even maintain his body temperature. So he is technically a warm-blooded animal, but his body temperature, his core, ooh, tickle, 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 buddy. Tickle, tickle, tickle.
Do you want me to take a picture with you?
Yeah, you can.
If he's in the mood.
So
Sometimes
his-
my friends aren't either.
His core body temperature can be 19 degrees Fahrenheit lower in the day than it is in the night. In the night than it is in the day. And I'll help you get him down.
Well, we get the cuddle. Well, no, I don't.
Cuddle the next one, not this one.
Yeah.
I am this sloth person, and I have never held that sloth.
Really?
He was not raised the way the other ones were raised. He was raised for zoo use, and so for the first 2 years, he never really was around a person at all,
Oh.
and just in a static display. So then when he came here is when he started interacting with people. So his encounter was literally 2 years in the making until he decided he would. It took about a year till he decided he actually would prefer to eat from my hand than he would to eat from a dish. And then it was another number of months until he decided he would prefer to eat from a person's hand than from a dish. I mean, a random person. And so it was 2 years in the making for that. See, he already
I
smells
was
the
like, he
banana.
knows you're doing something.
He smells it.
Oh.
Alright, so while he hangs down like this, you can stand approximately this close to the sloth to take a picture. And, hey, Bob, turn this way. Stand on the other side of the light's probably better.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
He'll be down for a while, there's no rush.
Oh.
As long as there's a banana, he's not going home.
Does he eat every piece of the banana, the
Yeah.
rind and all, or the?
Just about every animal eats the peel as well as the fruit. They don't have a sous chef to peel it for them. So, and there's a lot of nutrition in the peels, not so much sugar in the peels. Although camels will eat the peel and won't eat the fruit. If you give them one whole, they'll smash it until the fruit is gone and then eat the peel.
Well, at least this way you don't have to waste anything.
Yeah, well, actually we end up throwing away more bananas than we do peels because the superworms need the peels. Hey, Bob.
He's so sweet.
Yes.
Can we get a picture of you?
If you don't mind.
No, I don't mind.
He doesn't even know what the age now.
I'm like, why is it showing me? I'm just taking pictures.
You guys are welcome to give them those banana pieces.
You want to take some of these?
Yes.
So they also, because their energy budget is so low, they can only milk for their babies for about 3 to 6 weeks, and that's it. They have no milk storage facility. They don't have mammary glands like other mammals do to make and store milk. They make milk drop by drop as the baby eats it. The baby only gets to drink milk from its mother for about 3 to 6 weeks, and that is all. The mother does stay with the baby for longer than the 3 to 6 weeks, but after it's done drinking milk, it's just learning how to survive in the world from its mother. The sloths eat really low quality food, but they eat a tremendous amount of it. So the sloth is eating 10% of its body weight every single day.
Every day? Do you want me to video?
Yeah, look how he is gonna, if you stand a little back, watch how he's gonna plank out trying to get to it. Core body strength is crazy.
Cute. No, not the finger.
See that core strength, the way he's leaning out there?
I'm just videoing.
Yeah, you can snap stills out of a video later. Just hold it down, we'll come right back down.
I need to work on my core like you, buddy.
I know, right?
Not gonna happen. So the sloth eats 10% of its body weight every single day, and yet it goes to the bathroom only once in 7 to 10 days. So when the sloth does eventually go to the bathroom, he is going to eliminate 1/3 of his total body mass. So put this to human perspective. I weigh 180. That is me eating 18 16-ounce porterhouse steaks every day, or maybe 30 or 40 hamburgers, or 50 or 60 hot dogs, something like that.
Wow.
And then if I was going to eliminate 1/3 of my body mass when I went to the bathroom, that would mean I would start from 180 and eat 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 until I got to about 240, and then boom, back to 180. And in 2 or 3 minutes to eliminate 1/3 of my total body mass. So that's pretty crazy. The sloth does metabolize the food very thoroughly, because if he is going to eliminate 1/3 of his total body mass all at once, he's eaten potentially 100% of his total body mass since he last went to the bathroom. And that is poop and pee at the same time. He does not even tinkle between trips down the tree. When he goes to the bathroom, he comes all the way down the tree, same side of the tree, and goes to the bathroom in the exact same spot he always goes. And if you look in there, there's only shavings in one spot in his room, because that is where he's going to go to the bathroom, for sure, every time. In the wild, the reason for that is the sloth-moth symbiotic relationship. So in the wild, not here, praise the Lord, sloths need moths and moths need sloths. So the benefit to the moth is that the sloth is the food source and the living environment of the moth. The sloth benefits as well. It is symbiotic, not parasitic. So the benefit to the sloth is that as the sloth grooms himself, he licks up a certain amount of the moths themselves, and he licks up a certain amount of the waste of the moths. So as the sloth licks up the waste of the moths, well, as he licks up the moths themselves, that is where he gets a small amount of protein, which we're replacing with 2 hard-boiled eggs a week. And he is getting a certain amount of the waste of the moths. The waste of the moths are how the sloth maintains its bacteria colony. Now, we also have helpful gut bacteria. Our gut bacteria will last throughout our lives unless we take a long course of antibiotics. If we, oh, he loves them.
Oh.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why I cut them up in those little pieces like that. As the sloth licks up the waste of the moths, that is where the sloth gets its bacteria from that cause it to digest its food. If the moths on the sloth die out, the sloth will die with it. So the sloth cannot live in the wild without the moths.
Do they have any predators in the wild?
They are prey animals and they are absolutely going to die of being caught by a predator. That is the normal cause of death of a sloth is
I'm sorry, could you say that last part again?
they are going to die of being caught by a predator. They are prey animals, not predator animals. And when they're in the top of the tree, they're basically safe from every type. Yeah, it's a monkey biscuit. Yeah, you can have it. When the sloths are in the top of the tree, they are, excuse me, sorry. They are safe from basically every type of predator with the exception of eagles, because the larger predators can't go far enough out the branch to get to the sloth. So his eyes detect motion, end of the branch, he scurries out to the end of the branch. If a big cat follows him out to the end of the branch is going to break, which the cat knows that, so it's not generally going to. But if it does, and they fall 100 feet to the rainforest floor, the sloth will almost certainly survive the fall, and the cat will almost certainly die of the fall. So the sloth will just look over at the cat and go, ha, ha, and back up the tree he will go. And the cat will lay there dead and say, oh, and such. So anyhow, while it's safe in the top of the tree, it's going to come down the same tree, same side of the tree, poop in the exact same place it always does. Why would it risk its life to go to the bathroom, right? So scientists often come up with some pretty dumb ideas on the way to some often correct ideas, sometimes not. So the first idea was that a sloth is just a neat animal. I mean, come on, he's the Adrian monk of the rainforest. He's going to risk his life to go to the bathroom in one spot? No. So then the next idea was that he is fertilizing the tree by his own waste. His own tree by his own waste. Again, stupid. I mean, if he poops from anywhere in the tree, it's going to land above the root system of the tree. So, you know, fertilization-wise, no difference. So the actual reason that the sloth will come down same tree, same side of the tree, and go to the bathroom in the exact same spot it always does is the sloth-moth symbiotic relationship. So in the wild, did I already say this? No? Okay. In the wild, sloths need moths and moths need sloths. So there is a type of moth called a sloth moth that lives nowhere in the world except in the fur and in the waste pile of a sloth. I think I already talked about the benefit to the sloth. But when he comes down the tree, he gets his hind end right to the ground and he lets it rip 1/3 of his body mass all at once. The moths need to do their work quickly because he's only going to be down for 2 minutes. The moths are going to fly down into the waste pile, lay their eggs, back to the sloth. And don't want to miss the boat pulling out. So the sloth, there's rice there too if you want it. So the sloth will, every time that he comes down the tree, the moths all lay their eggs, and then from there it's basically row, row, row your boat. So this week's eggs or next week's larvae are the following week's moths. So every time that he comes down the tree, there's a whole new flock of moths to fly up onto the sloth.
Oh.
And the sloths will live their entire life on the moth. The only two reasons they will, the sloths on the moth. The moths will live their entire life on the sloth. It's a little Dr. Seuss while I try to say sloth, moth, 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 sloth several times a day. So the moths will live their entire life on the sloth. They will never leave the sloth except to drink water that pools up in the branches of the rainforest and to go into the waste pile to lay their eggs. Other than that, they will live their entire life on the sloth. The sloth will have somewhere between 125 and 150 moths living in its fur all of the time. I cannot imagine what their sense of feeling is on their body to be good with that, which is really ironic because the sloths like to be petted all slow like a sloth. Scratch them, rub them, they hate it. And seems like they would be just absolutely numb in the skin to being geared to living with 150 moths on them. But they hate to be scratched and rubbed. They like to just be petted slow. Softer than he looks like he would be, right?
Yes.
So the sloth, because his sense of vision is horrible, his sense of smell and hearing are absolutely wonderful. So for better or worse, the sloth knows what I smell like, and he knows what I sound like. So the monotone voice may not be great for the camera, but the sloths like it just fine. And the sloth is crazy strong. So obviously he's not stronger than a person. You know, they say an orangutan is 7 times stronger than a man, and that's a combination of the orangutan is bigger than a person and it's stronger pound for pound than a person. This guy, pound for pound, is about 3 times as strong as a person, but overall, you know, he only weighs 15 pounds. He's obviously not stronger overall than a person. But he can do a 1-arm pull-up by any of his 4 arms and then hang there for a long, long time. Now, that's not all a matter of strength. The pull-up part is a matter of strength. The hang there is a matter of just their nature and their structure. So if, those are really some high-end nails. Let me see this.
Oh, I made them.
Really, you made them out of what?
Gel and acrylic and glitter and rhinestones.
And
Are
is
they
that,
press-ons, or do you do them on your actual
No,
nail?
I do. Yeah.
you do them when they're on your nails?
Yeah.
How do you do your left, if you're right-handed, how do you do your left hand?
Practice.
Practice.
This is like my 4th or 5th set.
You know,
But I mean, they're not perfect, but yeah.
better than I can do.
Thank you though.
My handwriting is horrible because my hands are not so great. But anyway, now I've completely lost my train. I
I'm
see
so
shiny
sorry.
things and I'm like, squirrel.
It's
And,
okay, me too.
yeah, whatever. So the sloth, he's really strong, but the hanging there is not a matter of strength, it's a matter of his nature and how he's designed. So if we were going to hang from that branch in a 2-arm hang, we could remember from PE class 20 years ago, or in my case 40 years ago, that a minute is a long time to do a 2-arm hang, right? And the sloth can hang there for days. So how that works, for us, this is our stress or exertion state. This is our relaxed state. This is exerting no energy. Sloth is the opposite. When his hands are clamped down like this is his relaxed state. When he stretches his hands out like this is his exerting energy state. So when the sloth is hanging in that tree, he is exerting no energy whatsoever. If the sloth died, he would not necessarily fall out of the tree. He could continue to hang there dead for days or weeks or until something rotted or until something knocked him out of the tree, because he is exerting no energy at all to hang in the tree. The sloth is very designed for being an upside down animal. Now, if he eats the leaves at the ends of the branches, which is where the softest, newest leaves are, less hardness to the cellulose walls, to the cellular structure of the leaf, less opportunity for toxins to build up in the leaf. The leaves at the end of the branch are the best. If he's going to go out to the end of the branch like this to eat leaves, he's going to fall to the ground. So he's got to be going out like this, right? So that when the thing hangs down, he's just with it. So the sloth, because he is upside down for a very large percentage of his life, his body cavity is designed differently than ours. Now for us, our guts are just sitting in our pelvis and upper bounded by our diaphragm. So if we were on an inversion table upside down for an hour or so, we're going to run short of breath.
Yeah.
Because our guts are all going to be putting back pressure onto our diaphragm that's not meant to take it. The sloth can be hanging vertically upside down like this. He can be hanging horizontally upside down like that. He can be hanging right side up on a tree like this. He could be laying down anywhere in the trees in any position. So the sloth has 46 ribs, 23 sets of ribs. They go all the way down to his hips, and he has connective tissue going back and forth between his ribs and all of his organs. So no matter what position he is in, his guts all stay exactly where they're supposed to stay. Now, people sometimes ask me, how does the sloth swallow upside down? We can swallow upside down just fine too. We just don't. But peristalsis, that's how your food goes from your back of your mouth down to your stomach. He has the same thing, peristaltic action that moves his food along his esophagus and actually goes all the way down around and then back up in. But if we were hanging by our feet for a few hours, our food would start to leach back up. If this is the top of his stomach, he's got an arrangement like that it's a one-way. So his food can't come back up out. So the sloth is incapable of vomiting. So you have to be careful what you feed a sloth, because if they choke, you're just done. But the sloth is just start to finish designed to be upside down. Obviously, his feet, he's not got feet that he's ever going to stand up and walk on. And if you actually found if you were a scientist who found the skeleton, say, of a sloth, and you were trying to make some determinations about that animal, you would almost certainly come up with an idea of an apex predator, because the skeleton of a sloth is a fearsome looking thing. You don't want to see my hot air balloon and turkey trip. Let me find the right thing here. It was cool though, the hot air balloon trip in Turkey though. Yeah, it was. So, Zoe's gonna be. Hey guys, did you have a good time?
Yes, thank
Outstanding.
you.
Hey, I have a tag I'd love for you to scan and give me a Google review if you enjoyed yourselves. And we're gonna move on to part 2, and I will show you this sloth skeleton just in a minute. So, I think Tatum would be ready for us in a second. And let me show you my Google review. You guys do Google reviews. Sometimes people are just like chick-fil-A.
I want to boop him.
He's like, where'd the food go?
I know.
You ate it all. I know you stuck with the eggs.
You want some egg?
Not feeling it.
He's like, where'd the banana go?
That's what he wanted. He came alive for the banana.
He loves the fruit. I feel like if he could get to a smoothie king, that's where he would live.
Me too.
He's so much softer than I expected. I expected his fur to be real coarse and
Mhm.
stiff. And
So out in the wild, it would have, 100 to 200 bugs and be filled with algae and everything else. So it'd be a lot different. You got a friend there. Are you coming out quickly? Okay.
Coming out.
Oh, is it
I
time
think
to
you
go
guys
in
are
there?
coming in, right? Are you guys VIP? Or just, yeah.
I don't know. My husband booked it, so.
I don't know. Do I have it on?
I'll go look.
I'm trying to take a picture, Kevin.
Hey, I almost have the solution done.
Hey, Mr. Flash doesn't want you to scratch his head. You be nice.
Are they friends?
No. Oh, sorry, Flash, I booed you. Mwah. Sloths are very isolated animals. They don't need each other. They'll be nosy, but they don't have to. They do not. He does not like that. So they stay to themselves. During mating season is the only time they'll ever interact with each other. Not our two, but in the wild.
And what was her name?
Zoe.
Zoe. Oh.
Oh, one VIP, Amanda.
Oh.
You're
Can
Amanda.
I pay for
Oh,
the
I love your
VIP?
earrings. Oh, your earrings are awesome.
sloth?
Yeah, the add-on is not like
It's not.
same day, yeah.
What are we talking about?
I was trying to figure out
My
which one was
husband
VIP.
didn't- Yeah, my husband didn't book the VIP.
Oh, you can add it on.
Oh, we can, same day?
Okay, yeah, no problem. If there's not another person here, yeah. Well,
It's
no, there
just
can't be
an
another person here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's no problem, I'll add it on.
Oh, fantastic. He thought, I think he thought, because he was telling me that it was, and I'm like, I don't know what you booked, but.
Well, I'm not trying to drive the price up on you. If you don't want to do it,
No, no, no.
by all means.
No,
Yeah,
no, no, I want, yeah.
yeah, okay.
He
I'll
thought-
add it on for
I
you.
think he thought that's what it was, so.
Here is New York. Her
All
spinach
right,
is
you
on
got her
the,
snuggie.
I do not have
Her
her snuggie.
Snuggie?
It's out here, but the spinach is right there.
She transfers on her snuggie.
She has a Snuggie?
Yeah, keeps her from grabbing on so hard.
Yeah.
So, when you say to her night-night, she goes to her snuggie, and that's how she knows that she's going to a new person. And then when you hold her, she's gonna hang right around your neck like this. And if she's holding on too tight, you just tap her finger like this and say, loosen up there, sweetheart. So if you guys wanna have a seat right there, and we're happy to take pictures for you. You can be each other's photographers if you want to, doesn't really matter. And, yeah, absolutely, you're gonna hold her.
I
So,
have been waiting for this.
there you go. All right, so we say to her night-night, and she's gonna come right to you. If you support her under the bum end right there, she won't hold on so hard. And if she holds on too hard with her hand, just tap her on the finger like this, and she will loosen right up. So
We don't mind.
we were in
I
the
can
middle
get for you
of. I was telling you all that
Yes.
the oh yeah, you gotta grab the other one.
Thank you. She's a diva.
She is. She really is.
Oh. You don't want to snuggle with me?
She might take some spinach leaves, who knows?
Oh. I literally just got goosebumps. Oh, sorry.
All right, so this is a skeleton of a currently live or a modern sloth. So if you look at this skeleton, you will observe the massive teeth in a sloth, right? You might not have noticed how doggone big Flash's teeth were.
Yeah.
These are the teeth of a sloth. And you saw Flash's claws, those are the claws of a sloth. And if you look at their arms are longer than their whole body. Their legs are even longer than their arms. With these 46 ribs, 23 sets of ribs, they look like they're built like a truck. And so you would almost certainly draw up an image of an apex predator zipping around the rainforest and eating everything in sight. You almost certainly would not come up with the image of a slow, peaceful animal that is going to hide from predators for all of its life until one eventually got it. And now that we're on to the holding part, I'm always careful to do a disclaimer every time I'm on a live with someone holding a sloth to say, please don't look at what we're doing here and think it's a good idea to buy yourself a sloth. It is absolutely not. These sloths that we're here with today are many generations captive bred. Generationally, these are further removed from the rainforest than I am from the American Revolution. And so these sloths are like a house cat compared to a wild sloth being like a feral cat. If you have your house cat that was raised in your house, and if you have your, don't text me, sorry. If you have your house cat that was born as a kitten in your house, it will want to lay in your lap its whole life, and it'll purr and snuggle and want you to scratch it and pet it. And if you took a feral cat from the woods and tried to hold that one in your lap, it's going to claw your eyeballs out trying to get away. That is the difference between a wild sloth and a captive sloth. So there is no reputable breeder of sloths who will sell a sloth to a private individual who doesn't have a zoo license. So where you find sloths that are for sale on the internet, you are absolutely getting a wild animal. If you buy an animal that was kidnapped from the rainforest and brought to live in captivity, on average they will live for about 2 months. Everyone who sells a sloth on the internet tells you it is a captive bred sloth and they are all lying. Please don't do that. Second thing, if you're going to a sloth encounter, please look at how they treat their sloths. If they pull the sloth's teeth, please don't go. If they book their sloths for 8 and 10 hours a day, please don't show up. That is not an ethical way to treat a sloth. Sloths need several hours a day to relax and to eat and to sleep. About 18 hours a day to relax, eat, and sleep. So that's why Flash does a total of 1 hour of encounters per day, and Zoe and Dash do 2 hours of encounters per day. She doesn't want you to touch her on the belly side. Don't let her put her mouth on your hand. She's still a baby learning not to mouth on people. Let me give you some spinach for her. Yeah, don't eat her, Zoe. Here's some little snacks for her. Would you like to feed her snacks while she holds?
Oh, yes.
And y'all can switch. All of that in the dish, she's welcome to eat.
You are just like a toddler.
Oh, I just got egg on her nose.
She is, don't wipe her nose, she won't like it.
Oh, okay.
She'll lick it eventually. So yeah, she is very much like a toddler. And this is a spoiled rotten sloth. She lived in the house until, she was a year old. And,
In the house?
yeah, all the sloths live in the house until they're a year old. They come down here for their encounters and then right back to the house. So this sloth, the reason that Donna, my darling wife, who's the brains of the outfit, can't come down here and do the encounters is because if she's in the room, this sloth will just make herself nuts trying to get to Donna. Because she has sat in Donna's lap. I tried to calculate a while back, probably about 3,000 hours sitting in my wife's lap. So Donna is absolutely her person. I'm absolutely Flash's person. And Dash doesn't have a certain person because everybody holds Dash all the time.
Do you ever have to trim their nails?
No. So if you look at the trees that are in our environments, we keep the humidity really high for the sloth, and that has the side benefit that the bark stays on the trees. So the sloth's nails wear down on the bark naturally. Now, we don't prefer to trim any of our animals' nails. So the coatimundis over here, they have asphalt shingles that are on the flat parts that they walk up and down. That's what wears their nails down naturally. If you get to trimming them too much, it can be tricky. And a sloth, it's actually the last
Than you look.
the last bone of their finger is inside of their nail like this, and so you wouldn't want to be. And yeah, it's far better to just take the natural.
I feel like I'm taking it from her.
Oh no, just keep giving her bites of food. She loves to eat.
She's funny. She's particular about which one she wants too.
Flash likes the green beans better than the squash and the sweet potatoes. She likes the squash and the sweet potatoes better than the green beans.
Hang on. Not the finger.
She's a little chow hound. So she is nearly her full adult mass, but if you look at Flash's teeth and her teeth are much, much, much smaller. If you look at Flash's claws compared to her claws are tiny compared to his. She is 16 months old. Her birthday is December the 16th. So she just started to transfer down here after she had her birthday. So transferring down here meant, she spent an extra hour after encounter, and then after a while 2 hours, and so on and so forth. Right now she's at the point that she spends about 5 nights a week down here and 1 or 2 nights a week up in the house. And she'll still come up and sit on her lap for family game night and maybe watch a TV show, that kind of thing. The advantage to her over him is she gets to go outside for walks and so forth, because he doesn't like to be held, so I can't take him out for walks. But the other sloths go out for walks regularly. Anytime it's warm enough. Oh, there's more food.
Oh, okay.
There's no limit to what she can eat.
Oh, okay. She's snuggling. Oh,
She's scratching her belly.
Actually, if you just want her to snuggle, what we'll tell her is that she's out of veggies and she'll just want to snuggle is to give her some spinach leaves, and then she's like, biscuits. If all that's left is spinach, I'm going to sleep. Because she eats all the spinach that she wants all day, every day. Or whatever other leafy greens. So 25% of their diet is these other things that are in the bowls that we have out here, and 75% of their diet is leaf material. So it could be spinach, romaine, spring mix, not
So aggressive.
I know, I mean, she's clamming. I love it, but I don't want her to like think that my finger is food, you know?
Alright, so let her have leaves and she'll be like, biscuits. I guess that's all the breakfast I'm getting.
Oh. You're so precious.
You know, she's gonna be like, okay, if that's all the breakfast there was, I'm going to sleep. And she likes to be petted very, very, very slow. Slow like a sloth.
Oh.
Alright, let me see if it's warm enough for Flash to go outside yet.
How does he go outside?
Open the door. Yes, it is warm enough for him to go outside, so we're gonna let him go out. Come on, Bubba.
Yeah, where are you going?
I think this.
I
On
know.
TikTok, you guys wanna see how Flash goes outside, this is how he goes.
Oh, I guess he
Hey
can.
Flash, you wanna go outside, buddy?
Oh. Okay, that makes sense.
Oh, I could just do this all day.
I know.
Hey Flash, come here, baby. Good boy. He's quicker than he looks when he wants to be, right?
Yeah, I did not anticipate that.
Now, he probably will start to go up and be like, oh, wait, the door's open?
How cold what does the temperature have to be?
70. Yeah, absolutely can't be 1 degree below 70.
Yeah, he just went up.
He's coming back down. He's gonna go up and across and back
Too
down.
hot for them?
Say what?
Say, would the temperature ever be too hot?
You know, the daytime high in the rainforest naturally would be about high 80s. Doesn't really get a whole lot hotter than that here in southern Tennessee. But if it was like 95, we probably wouldn't let him out. We get very, very few days like that though. Where'd you go, Bo?
So your husband didn't want to do this with you?
No, he doesn't.
Oh, he wants a bud.
Oh.
Huh.
Yeah. Like, I have been obsessed with them for years and years and years, decades, and, the first time I ever got to touch one was right after COVID in Florida. And so when we saw that this was here, cause I didn't know that this was here, I was like, oh my gosh, and I told him, and he literally went straight to it, and he goes, I booked it, and I was like, oh.
Really, I had to keep looking back. They were all booked up, and I was like, I'll get a spot surely.
Yeah, he went straight in, and it took like 2 months, but.
Where's
So Saturdays we're booking into
Where are you from?
Louisville?
Louisville, Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
I used to go to the Kentucky Horse Park in Lexington all the time. And my niece is in Louisville right now because she goes to college there. Because it's one of the very few colleges that have American Sign Language as 4-year major.
Oh.
That's the college that has like a cardinal bird, like a woodpecker for its mascot, right? Isn't that
I think so.
Louisville?
Not a woodpecker, it's a cardinal.
Cardinal, yeah. I've seen her wearing a shirt, I don't know what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, we have sloths in Kentucky, but you can't find it.
Yeah.
Well, these ones that can be held, these are ambassador raised animals. So these ones come from a doctor of veterinary medicine who's been a sloth conservationist and raising sloths for about 30 years now. And so he raises them very, very differently, and they are many generations captive bred. So you just can't get these all over the place.
Yeah, when I went, to the Florida Zoo there, they had that encounter, but you could touch, but only minutely, you couldn't feed, and you couldn't get real close to them, and, yeah.
Yeah, that's what was interesting. None of its dogs are kind of like catch me nots and very, yeah.
So the government of Costa Rica is working very hard against sloth encounters because so many of them out there are just animal exploitation for money. There are lots of them that book the sloths for as many hours a day as they can. And you can buy a wild-caught sloth for about $8,000. So if you make money faster than you run out of sloths, you know, people will do that. And so it's a horrible thing, but it is very much a reality in the world. And so they also will tell you that it is always, always, always harmful to touch a sloth. It's always harmful to pet a sloth. It's always stressful on a sloth to hold it. With a wild-caught animal, I completely agree with every single word that they're saying. But these are not wild animals. But and you know, I agree with their heart in the matter. They're trying to stop the exploitation of animals, and I'm absolutely all for that. But there are good sloth encounters out there. We think we do a really good job here by limiting. We only do 2 people at a time. We only do 2 hours of encounters a day with each sloth, and that's it. And we feel like our sloths genuinely enjoy it. When you go to open the door to get her, she goes and comes flying out to you. And I'm sure you've seen us on lives where we go to open the door and she like scurries out and is like hanging straight out from the branch and just desperately trying to get to you because she loves to be held. And with Flash, when we open this door and say, "Hey, Flash," she just comes right down. And if for any reason on a particular day a sloth doesn't want to interact, that's fine. No harm, no foul. The food that's in the dishes just goes in their dish on the other side of the wall right there. They are not going to be deprived of any of their groceries, any of their snacks. There will be no repercussion to the sloth because it doesn't feel like playing on a particular day. That's fine.
He's cracking me up.
Yeah, he really gets around, doesn't he? He's like the Beach Boys. Get it around. All right, let's let you have your turn. So we're gonna say to Zoe, "Night night." You got pictures and everything, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I took
Night night, Zoe. Come here, baby.
Oh, I like you too. Karen's Karen.
All right, baby.
Oh, she's so precious. I got her.
Yeah. There we go.
So do you do this because they don't like to be touched on their belly?
This one hates to be touched on the belly, but more specifically, she likes something to hang on to so she doesn't feel like she's gonna fall. You might want to take the necklace and earrings because she can grab hold of any of those items. I know you weren't planning to hold a sloth today.
Oh, you're back.
I can't get my necklace off.
You want me to try?
Yeah, my nails are too long.
It's tricky.
My husband did it this last time because my nails got really long.
Thank you, ma'am.
He gets obsessed with your nails.
All right, there you go. Night night. Night night. So she moves across to the Snuggie, and then she moves to you. So support her under the bomb end there. And we'll pop you out of your way.
Oh, he's a She's sticking her legs around me. Where are you going?
You like, is there any food over this way? There we go. Zoe, come here, hey. Hey, come here. That's your option.
I want you to get in some snuggles first, and then I'll give you some stamps.
can have those if you want.
She's very handsy. Hey, Zoe, don't do that. She doesn't like to be touched on the pedestal. She goes upside down
Here, I
like
got
that.
this.
It's hard. You put him. Zoe, hey. Here you go, baby. She does want some spinach right now. As I said, 10% of their body weight every day. Crazy amount of food. Do you want to feed her the leaves?
And I
Just give
got
her one at a
it.
time like
Got it
that?
in a video where she was snatching her glasses off.
Oh, that's gonna be cute. There you go, just give her one at a time. She is a riot.
And she grabs your hand. It's like, you don't want it from me. She's like, no. Which one does she prefer?
You just give her the spinach, cause then she'll just stop eating, snuggle.
Oh, I was like, what animal crawled up your leg? That's what I was
I
like.
have a hole in my pocket. I stick my phone in there and it falls all the way to the floor.
Yeah.
So what does that mean?
So the cute little noise, she's sharpening her teeth. So her teeth, her fang teeth, they have no enamel and they sharpen against each other like this. So a sloth's teeth grow for all their life. And every time they're opening and closing their mouth, they're sharpening their teeth one against the other. And that is their nature to do so because they're gonna live 20 years in the rainforest and they don't have a toothbrush. So that's God's way of making sure they have teeth forever. Now with rodents, you know, it's their two front teeth they grow for all of their life. With sloths, it's their fang teeth they grow for all of their life. And with rodents, they sharpen their teeth against exterior things like wood. And with sloths, they sharpen their teeth against their own teeth. And when she lays completely upside down like that and looks like she would love for you to scratch her belly, she doesn't. Touch her belly, she'll snap over and be like, bang. So you're into hummingbirds.
Yeah. My nana passed away a couple years ago, and she had macular degeneration. She couldn't see anything but a paper slice with her.
Right.
And the only thing that she could ever see was hummingbirds.
Oh, wow.
So I have her name in there with my papa's name.
Just rotate your hand when she holds it like that.
My mother-in-law had a pet hummingbird for like 2 years.
Wow.
That there was a little baby hummingbird that it fell out of the nest, and when the egg broke open, it was a living little tiny hummingbird. And she fed it with like the tiniest eyedropper, like one of those ones that goes like this and then has a little teeny point on the end. She fed it with an eyedropper until it started flying, and that hummingbird lived outdoors, but it flew to her every day and would sit on her hand and eat nectar.
Yeah, she had some at the house that would like come and flutter in front of her face.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and so she always said that was, oh, she's licking her chair. She always said that was, the children that she lost, it was them coming up to visit, so. When she passed away, that's the first thing I did. you still have to do that. When I got this one, I just walked in, but that was 25 years ago. But this one, I went to Mainline Ink in Chattanooga, and I had to put in a request. They had to choose me depending on what I wanted and get the right artist. So it took probably 4 months before I could get in.
Yeah, I put in one and they never got back with me, so I was like, okay, I guess I'll do the next one.
Yeah.
But I'm like, you know what, that's fine, like, if you're not interested or you don't think that you can do what I want,
Yes.
but I mean, you can at least get back with me.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
I'm of the age that I thought those happen on Friday and Saturday nights.
That's where this one came from.
Yeah.
It was a Friday night. My cousins came in from West Virginia, and we literally drove to Chattanooga and did walk-ins. There were 6 of us.
Nice.
So before I had this sloth, I never knew that sloths could be playful. So she sits on our laps while we play the family game night. And the main game that we play in the house is Settlers of Catan. And she like reaches up on her shufflegus and tries to grab all the green game pieces. And then the card games that we usually play are either spades or hand and foot. And you can't play cards with her in your lap because she'll take the cards out of your hand. And she'll like knock at them. Pretty funny.
I love it when she just reaches her arm around my neck. It's like a little baby.
She's getting to be like a pretty good sized baby.
Yeah. She's like a 2-year-old now.
So when she is at the thing,
About to fall.
don't do that. No, she won't fall. When she's at the empty end of the food scale, which is today, she weighs about 11.5 pounds. When she's at the full end, she's about 15.
Oh, so she's already gone to the bathroom.
This morning, or overnight.
Mm-hmm.
So how, you said that they can fall from a tree and
You should
survive,
look at this.
how?
She's got her face in
They're-
her face in the cup holder.
They're just built like a tank, and I don't know, they say that the perpetrator's most likely to survive an accident, in that kind of accident that I want to get and again by saying something stupid. But they just are relaxed and slinky legs, so I think they just hit the ground and flop, I'm not sure. But they're sloth conservation people say that they fall out of the tree up to once a week. I really have a hard time believing that to be true, but that's what they say. I don't know, possible, I guess.
Dash still at the house.
Yes.
How did he get him?
Is it that late? Have I gone that far over?
11:40.
Okay, thank you.
He's got encounters at 12:20.
Yeah.
Where are you going, sister?
She really recognizes the fact that you have the arm there, and so she's like, oh, she's gonna hold me, so I'll just keep leaning back. Yeah,
Is
she's,
that where I went wrong?
well, like if you hold her, she's like, okay, I'll stay there, but if you let go, then sometimes she'll move around. And really, a lot of times when you just switch people, she'll be like, oh, okay, I'm gonna kind of sniff. Zoe. Don't lick. She's like, just taste it. Let's try that later. There you go. Should be able to
Yeah,
kind of thinking about it.
Do you want us to go back up to the house?
she'll kill me if I put it back in the house.
You must smell really good. Because I don't smell good, probably. I smell like animals. And so she's just like, just wants to eat it.
I mean, I tried to do that. I didn't even put on perfume. I didn't put on
You-
lotion. Like you all asking me.
Guys,
to
we
do.
just stink. You guys don't. So she's like,
I know, I was like, I can't wear anything today. Oh.
Climb up yet, did you?
Okay. Where are you going, sister? Yes, ma'am.
that's hilarious.
You can do this. Like, snuggle up.
Next time you go to feed her, roll up your sleeve a little bit so she doesn't smell whatever detergent.
Oh, is that what it is?
I think that's
It's
what.
fragrance free.
I know, but they just, their sniffer is like a dog's, right?
Zoe, we got food over here.
And so I just smell like animals.
Like, I have something that's some like fragrance free, dye free.
Hey there, Zach. Do you hear that big noise?
That did scare her.
It's just me. I don't smell as good as her. So now she really. Are you done? She
Okay,
is
the
not.
struggles are the best, man. I'm telling you, I'm like, that is what I've been looking forward to. And I'm like,
I'm almost 50, and this makes my whole life, right? Except for my kid and grandkids, in case they're watching.
This is like the grandkid that doesn't yell, and you don't even have to change the diaper.
I know, right? It does.
Is she chewing on me? What are you doing? She
What
cried.
are you doing?
Look.
Being mysterious?
Yeah.
No?
I swear I'm not touching my nose. You don't want my nose?
Just trying to bite you.
All right, if you want to sit in the chair beside her, you can give her this. And she'll eat it out of the bowl or out of your hand, whichever way you're comfortable with, but it will make your hand a mess if you feed her barehanded. She seems extra hungry this morning, so we will meet her desire.
Or, yeah, she might try to scoop it on you.
Whose phone is this one?
Would that be mine?
Where's your phone? This one? Wiener dog, that's cute.
I know, isn't she gorgeous? That's what I told her earlier. I was like, your dog is precious.
That's one of them two. The other one is not very photogenic.
I have two, and I have one that's a diva, and the other one is a scaredy cat.
It's funny that those were originally bred for hunting badgers, right? You don't really see them as being fearsome little beasts. They're gonna run down in a hole and take out a badger.
The wiener dogs?
Yeah.
That's what they were bred for initially.
I didn't know that.
Oh,
So
yeah.
that's why they really like to dig and their long bodies so they can go in the holes and then
Yeah.
you pull them out by their tail. I don't think you can do that anymore.
No.
I didn't know that there were long-haired ones until I saw one, but the first one I saw was one that had eaten too much. So it was a long-haired weird dog that was like barely like. I was like, man, you gotta get your dog on a diet. Like I don't think he's doing all right. But the cutest little things ever. But can't they hurt their backs like when they jump off the couches? Because they always want
I
to.
got a rant.
Yeah, because I remember my friend, he's like, don't let it jump. It'll hurt its back.
They still do.
Yeah.
Yeah, even though I got the ramp, they're just, oh, let me just jump off the couch.
My sister's dog is a wiener dog named Bama, because they're from Alabama.
Yeah.
And it has a set of steps that takes up the whole room to walk up onto the bed. I'm like, why don't you just let the dog sleep on the floor? But whatever.
My first dog that's scared of everything, his name is Trooper. My husband's a police officer. His name is Trooper, and we have to pick him up and put him on the bed.
Well, hey, we appreciate you and your husband.
Oh,
No, it's not the world's easiest time to be a trooper.
no. He's actually the assistant chief in Ringgold.
Oh, cool.
I don't know how we came up with Trooper, but it was a hot name, so.
Oh, yeah.
I just went and had ice cream at the Spot in Ringgold. Took my daughter on the way home the other day. This is a
Loves
cool.
that place.
Yeah, it's a cool ice cream place. I like how they're doing the downtown and stuff.
Yeah, there's a big initiative for that right now.
Mm-hmm.
What, ice cream? I support that.
Yes, 100%. No, in like renovating and updating the Ringgold area.
Uh-huh. It looks good.
Did you eat any of those cookies I brought from Clover Mill yesterday?
I wasn't. Yeah, yesterday.
They're in the.
Oh, are those
They're
it?
next to the fridge
Okay,
in
yes.
the
I had a couple
white
of those.
box.
The lemon ones are good.
Those are pretty good.
Let me just stabilize right here.
Somebody named Jennifer Carlton said, Cindy, is that you? Are either one of you Cindy?
I am.
Yep, Jennifer Carlton Wool, W-O-L, said, Cindy, is that you? Cindy says yes.
Jennifer, you gotta give us some context.
Wolfie
Sure.
is her last name. WOLFE.
Oh, yes.
So she's
Cool.
watching you.
Okay. Oh my gosh. That's hilarious.
But it just came out as WL, and then she wrote the last part.
Okay.
She said it's Jen from
I know.
Amazon. She
Yes.
wants you to know.
Yes.
Okay.
She's supposed to be on a cruise right now.
Well, somebody else with her maybe even said they're on a cruise to go to Costa Rica to hold a sloth. I said, have fun. Come visit when you're back.
Hey, when you're in Costa Rica, please don't stop at the roadside sloth stands. Those are people that have kidnapped a sloth out of the rainforest, ducked it in a bucket of bleach, and they're standing on the side of the road trying to get you to pay them $20 or $50 to pet their sloth. Because if the average annual salary there is $5,000 a year, and they can get 100 people off of the cruise ship to pet that sloth that's out of the rainforest, they had just made their annual salary, and the sloth will likely die the next day. So please do not participate in that by all means. I'm sure they probably tell you that on the cruise ship, but please, please, please don't interact with sloths that people are on the roadside with in Costa Rica.
Why do they dump them in bleach?
Because they're covered in moss and algae and bugs. That's their natural state. And when they dump them in bleach, so they're nice for people to pet, then it kills their whole biosphere living in their fur. And even if they don't directly damage the sloth or stress it to death in the same day, it no longer it's when they put it back in the rainforest, it won't survive. It doesn't have its biosphere in its fur. Very, very, very harmful thing to do. But they kind of view it as, whatever. And I'm not going to talk anymore about that. But please, if you're in Costa Rica, don't interact with people that are asking you to pet a sloth on the side of the road. There we go.
I can't believe they would do something like that.
You really can't, or are you just saying that?
No, like, I can't believe that people would do things like that. Like,
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier, that if you buy a sloth that's for sale on the internet, every single person that is selling sloth on the internet will tell you it's a captive bred sloth. Ask to see the parents. Yeah, it's not.
I'm sorry I scared her, but I wish she was like extra snuggles.
I know, it's what I was thinking, I'm like, it's okay.
I was trying to get the piece of food off of you.
She's fine. She's home now.
All right, well, guys, we're gonna have to wrap up. We got Dash coming up here.